The West calls it freedom, when women reveal and men must restrain. It celebrates exposure as empowerment, yet demands that men silence the instincts it knows are natural, instincts that have existed since the beginning of humanity. It tells women they can dress however they wish, and tells men they must not react, as if desire and attraction could be legislated out of existence.
Silence in the court!
But human nature does not bend to slogans. No man can be commanded not to see, not to feel, not to think. These are not switches to be turned off by law. They are not machines that obey commands, nor emotions that wait for permission to arise. You cannot outlaw instinct, nor order a man's mind into blindness. A gaze cannot be legislated, nor can desire be erased by moral campaigns. To believe that a woman's safety depends on a man's perfect self-control is to depend on something no woman can ever command, because no law, no slogan, and no ideology can regulate what happens inside the human mind. From childhood, women are taught to lock their phones, to hide their jewelry, to guard their possessions, because the world is not flawless and temptation exists. They are reminded that not everyone can be trusted, that protection begins with awareness and caution. Yet when it comes to their most precious possession, their bodies, they are told to leave protection in men's hands, to depend on male restraint rather than their own judgment. They are told, "You are free, the problem lies with men." But what this really means is, you may do as you wish, but your safety depends on the virtue of strangers. It shifts responsibility from self-preservation to blind faith, faith in a collective discipline that does not exist. It tells women they have autonomy, but then builds that autonomy on the unpredictable self-control of others. That is not empowerment, that is dependency disguised as freedom. If both are free, if a woman is free to reveal, then a man is equally free to gaze. That is not cruelty, that is human nature. Freedom cannot exist for one and be forbidden for the other. How can one side exercise total freedom while demanding the other be bound? How can women be taught to display without consequence while men are expected to witness without reaction? The message is contradictory. It glorifies temptation, yet condemns response. It provokes and then punishes nature for answering. It builds a world that celebrates seduction but shames attraction, that commercializes the body yet criminalizes the gaze. It floods every screen, every street, every advertisement with unveiled flesh, then pretends to be shocked when instincts respond. It demands that men unsee what it constantly commands them to see. It calls this progress, but it is moral confusion, a system that denies the cause while dramatizing the effect. This double standard is not justice. It is confusion disguised as progress. It claims enlightenment, yet it blinds itself to the simplest truth. You cannot rewrite human nature with slogans about freedom. Islam's approach is the opposite of the West's illusion. It does not tell women to expose themselves and hope men behave. It commands them to take control, to protect themselves with dignity, not dependence. Covering is not submission, but self-respect, a declaration that a woman's worth is not for display. Islam does not leave women's safety in men's hands. It places it in their own. It teaches women to guard what is precious, to rise above objectification, and to find honor not in being seen, but in being respected. And here lies the truth the West never knew, the one that shatters its propaganda. They mock Islam for commanding women to cover, yet remain blind to the command that came first, the command to men. Before Allah ordered women to guard their modesty, He said, "Tell the believing men to lower their gaze and guard their private parts." Quran 24:30. This is not a suggestion, it is a divine order. A Muslim man is commanded to look away no matter who stands before him, Muslim or non-Muslim, veiled or unveiled, modest or exposed. His eyes are not his to wander, his gaze is bound by faith. Islam does not free men to indulge while binding women. It binds both in discipline before Allah. The woman guards her dignity, the man guards his sight. One covers, the other looks away. Each protects the other's honor. This is the balance the West cannot comprehend. A system where morality is not left to chance. Desire is not glorified as freedom, and both genders are equally commanded to rise above their impulses.